Treasurer at the moment?
I'm the party secretary of the Democrats and Veterans Party, and as Rob said, welcome to you all. Thanks for coming along, and it's good to see so many people here. I'd just like to go through a little recap. I'm a member of the Democrats and Veterans Party. We're a direct democracy party. Back in 2015, if you recall, that chap David Cameron, leader of the Conservative Party, and following pressure from within the party and without, the Conservative Party ran on a manifesto in 2015 providing a referendum to the people of this country to make a decision on our membership of the EU. I'm not too sure if David Cameron was too sure about whether he was going to get elected, but he did get elected, and his government got elected on that manifesto commitment. Lo and behold, the Conservative government did press forward, and the House of Commons, by a large majority, agreed that this was a decision that was going to be put to the British people in the form of a referendum. And that was announced. The Act of Parliament to enable that referendum was passed. And at that stage, many people in this room I met as we campaigned in 2015-2016 to get out of the EU and to engage in that process of direct democracy, asking the people how they want the future of their country to play out. We had the referendum, and what a fantastic, for those involved, especially for those actively involved and who were at counts, what a fantastic morning the 24th of June was.
We won.
We won a referendum by over 1.3 million votes, a huge majority. 8% more people voted to leave the EU than voted to remain in it. And we live in a democracy. Those who believe in democracy understand that that's how we make decisions. We acknowledge that we don't have the same views, the same opinions. We acknowledge that we have disagreements, but we don't settle those disagreements with fists, knives, guns. We settle them by accepting the democratic process. Nobody's arguing that Amber Rudd should not be the MP for Hastings. She won by 400 odd votes. Nobody's arguing that whatever her name, Dent Coed, shouldn't be the MP for Kensington, Labour MP for Kensington, having won by around about 25, 26 votes. Nobody's saying the people didn't know what they were voting for. But these things have changed. The establishment clearly wasn't expecting the result for the people to leave. They clearly didn't want it, and I think the history of this country since the 24th of June has really shown and exposed that those who sit in office in this country do not believe in democracy. They heard the result of the people, they didn't like it, and instead of saying, well, they're the boss, we're the servants, we need to crack on and implement what the people have decided, we've seen something somewhat different from the Labour Party, Conservative Party, Lib Dems, Greens, BBC, ITV, schools, academics, universities, you name it. They don't like and they don't believe in democracy. We have seen a split in the country. It's not Remain and Leave, it's Democrats and anti-Democrats. 2017, Labour Party and Conservative Party both stood on manifestos. Conservative Party was a little bit clearer than the Labour Party, but it was clear that both manifestos committed the Labour Party and the Conservative Party to implementing the will of the people. I'll let you judge as to whether those parties were sincere in their manifesto commitments. I think not. So, what's happened since 2017 when 85% I believe of people who voted in that general election voted for parties committed to implementing the will of the people and getting out of the EU. 15% of the electorate voted for parties that had different propositions in their manifestos. That is democracy. So what's happened since? We've had the Withdrawal Act passed. So despite Rob's expressed fears, which I think are held by many, the law as it stands is we leave the EU on the 29th of March in whatever, three and a bit weeks now.
Yeah.
That's the law. For that to change, our parliamentarians need to change the law. There is a mechanism within the Withdrawal Act which does give ministerial opportunity to delay the withdrawal date, but the law is we leave, and we'll see whether the Conservative Party government, or the government, is brave enough to extend, to change that date. I suspect the political, they're not brave people. I suspect they'll look at the state of the Conservative Party and say, no, that's not going to play out too well. But we will find out in the next 3 weeks. The way I see it, there's three options. We will either leave without a deal. We will leave, and in the next couple of weeks, I think there's a vote on the 14th of March in the House of Commons, where they'll try and, I call it a Remain deal, that they're trying to, it's clear from the withdrawal agreement that was drafted and rejected in what, before it was rejected, it was a meaningful vote. Meaningful vote. It was strange, isn't it? But then the vote went through and it didn't go the way they would, so that obviously wasn't meaningful. Now, I'm not aware of there having ever been a vote on anything that hasn't had meaning. And if it doesn't have meaning, why have you had a vote on it? The language that's used by the media and the government is absolutely disgraceful. So one, we'll either leave without a deal, or we'll have a stitch-up, or they will extend Article 50.
Can you possibly speak up? We can't hear what you're saying back here.
I'll try and get a bit louder. Is that any better?
That's better.
Okay. So those are the three possible outcomes, and I suggest anybody's guess which will pan out. Personally, I think we'll leave on the 29th without a deal, and that's maybe an optimistic viewpoint.
I hope so.
So, the Brexit battle ahead. What is the Brexit battle ahead? There may not be one. We might be out of the EU. If we are stitched up in any way, then there's no doubt about it. Parties like mine, we're a small party, a growing party, promoting direct democracy. We're going to have to work with all people from different parties and none to continue the fight because healing our politics in this country, getting out of the EU is just the first rung on the ladder. Once that's out of the way, the problems haven't gone away. The problems that have been exposed very clearly over the last 2.5 years haven't gone away. We've got people who hold office and hold the people of this country in contempt. But beyond Brexit, we do need to accept that the Labour Party is broken. The Conservative Party, and I know there's Conservative Party members here and former Labour Party members here, the Conservative Party is broken. Now, there are those who think that it can be healed from the inside. I take a different view, and I take the view that those who believe that the Conservative Party and Labour parties can be healed from the inside, if they work with those parties, they're just extending the pain for this country. And until people understand that the route forward for this country, I'm a promoter of direct democracy with the Democrats and Veterans Party, and we want to argue the case as to our way of healing the broken politics in this country. But we're obviously happy to listen to those who've got other ideas. I'll leave it at that because I've been speaking for a little bit too long. Thanks for for listening to me and for Rob for the invitation. Don't give up hope. We will leave, whether it's on the 29th of March or if the battle has to go further,
It goes further.
it goes further, and we will fight it.
Indeed. Thank you very much.